Hi, everybody. I'm Leon Thomas, and welcome to another episode of the InPhone A-Team show. We're going to talk with InPhone Business Development Director Tony Mecadon, and we have a very special guest joining us today on the InPhone A-Team show. Here we go. Hey, Tony, how you doing?
What's up, Leon? It's been a while.
It has. Everything is groovy. Listen, I got to ask you something.
Okay.
Well, first, let's talk Philadelphia Eagles. Are you still undefeated?
Oh, man. I don't know who's going to beat us, to be honest with you.
Man, that green at the bottom of the screen kind of reminded me. Listen, in that opening video, there's you holding a mug that says "Dream Big."
Yep.
What was it? Was that a morning thing? Was that a big cup of coffee?
Oh, yeah. I've had that mug. I don't want to jinx it now because I break everything. But I've had that mug literally for 15 years. It was bought for me, I think, for my birthday by a good friend of mine a long time ago that I used to work with. And it's just, I love the colors. I love the message. So it is my coffee mug. Absolutely.
Okay, right on. I saw it, and someone asked me about it last week. They said, when do we get a Leon Thomas group mug? And I'm like, how'd the mug come up? And they get it inside in Tony's show. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I understand now. Tony, InPhone is a happening thing. I have an InPhone. If you want to check mine out, go to inphone.co/LTG. Tony, give everyone your contact information, then we'll talk about some InPhone success stories and bring our guest on. What's your InPhone, Tony?
Absolutely. It is inphone.co/TM2.
Oh, yeah.
That takes you to everything you need to know about me.
Yes, InPhone is a happening thing. And just to make it real quick and make sure everyone understands, you get an InPhone, you don't carry these things around with you anymore. Those are business cards. Makes life so much easier. So, Tony, we have a very cool special guest today. Why don't you go ahead and introduce our guest?
Absolutely. You know, one of the best things I think from when I started representing InPhone, and actually the networking in general, getting to get on Zooms and meet people from all over the country, I just got a kick out of it. And Jason Hansen and I just hit it off right from the beginning. He lives all the way in Nebraska. I thought that was so cool that I now have a friend and business partner in Nebraska, and he has a great financial services business. Him and his wife do it as partners, and he was just a natural to bring on the show and tell him about what he does.
All right, let's bring Jason Hansen on into the show. Let's talk about his success and business with InPhone and everything. Hey, Jason, how you doing?
Really good, fellas. How are y'all?
Uh-oh, you said y'all.
Yeah. I did.
What's the plural of y'all?
Y'alls.
Oh, no. Y'alls. Okay. I was once told the plural of y'all is all y'all.
All y'all. Y'all. I've heard that before.
You've heard that one. Y'all, so right on. It's thanks for being here. No, Jason, before we go any further and before I let you and Tony get into chatting a little bit, tell everyone how they can get in touch with you. What's your InPhone? How do they find you?
It is inphone.co/JH1.
There you go. That's it. inphone.co/JH1. And I know we're going to take a look at yours a little later, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it up like right now. See, this is how simple it is, right? I can pull it up right now and find you, right? And talk to you and do everything with you. Now, how did you get in touch with Tony? How did you meet?
Tony and I got connected through a networking group called Network Referral Group, or NRG. And like Tony said, he and I hit it off right away. And I'm not very tech savvy, so it it took a few meetings or a couple meetings for Tony to explain to me, my vintage is getting up there a little bit. But once Tony was able to help me understand how InPhone works, I was sold. And I said this a little earlier, but I expected a price tag of $1,000 a year subscription. And when Tony broke it down for me, I thought, wow, that's crazy, because I can get an InPhone for the same price as a box of business cards some places.
Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely happening.
What's a business card?
Exactly.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Those things we used to use 20 years ago. I got you.
Yeah, those pieces of cardboard.
Yeah, right on. So you meet Tony, and then you recognize that the cost is going to be so much cost effective than business cards, and you go ahead and you get your InPhone, and then Tony starts the show. Tony calls me using my InPhone. He has it on his home screen. He calls me, and that's how Tony and I have been communicating back and forth. We don't even dial phone numbers. I don't even go to my contacts. I just pull up his InPhone. And so, Tony, you said let's have Jason as a guest on the show. So I'm going to go ahead and back away a little bit. Let you guys go ahead and chat, and I'll join you here shortly. Go ahead, and you guys go ahead and chat.
Well, Jason, I want the people out there to know about your business, because I know you're doing great things in a few different areas. So maybe to get started, if you have a quick story about how you got started in this business and why you and your wife decided to pursue financial education.
Yeah, for sure, Tony. Thank you. So in my late teens, early 20s, I actually had an interest in financial services. And I was smart enough to be dumb enough to be smart enough to understand that I needed to find somebody to teach me what I wanted to know. But here's the kicker. Every financial person that I ever sat down with wanted to use all kinds of big words and talk over my head and really do me no good. It was really more about their ego and how smart they could make themselves sound. So my first career wound up being in law enforcement, actually. Thank goodness I'm not there today. And then in 1996, I actually got ejected out of my car. I was off duty. I was ejected out of my car. I was in critical, surgical intensive care for 3 weeks. And the long and short of it is what happened was I depleted every dime that I had trying to stay financially afloat. And, I battled for 10 years to get out of that hole. Some people, it takes them longer than that. But the main thing, the reason I got involved in financial services, I discovered a concept called living benefits. And I always say, Lori and I both always say, if you breathe, you need living benefits. Because of what happened to me, not having living benefits and having it completely financially devastate me, that was the hook that it took me right there. And I aligned myself with a company that focuses on education as opposed to shoving things down people's throat. We educate at about a 5th grade level, so it's easy for everybody to understand. And then here comes 2008. After I got back on my feet, here comes 2008 and the market crash of 08, when the market took a 54% dive. There's a concept out there that protects us from that as well. So I'm big on protection. I can still offer a respectable return without any market, any risk in the market.
So I want to get back towards living benefits for a minute, because I know from knowing you and knowing your business, that is a huge service that you provide. Is that in lieu of other services, adding living benefits? Like, does that take the place of other policies? And how does it differ, and how is it better than some of the things on the market?
It's a standalone policy on its own. I don't know that it could technically replace anything. Actually, yes, it would. If you have life insurance that only pays your beneficiaries when you die, living benefits is a great option for essentially the same price.
And okay, so just so I'm following this correctly, so it's in the same area as life insurance, but where that is only paid out if someone passes away, living benefits can be used in the circumstance of when someone, God forbid, gets sick or gets in an accident. They have that money that's sitting there that can now be used to help them either in recovery or living their life moving forward.
Correct. Critical, terminal, and chronic illness. Cancer, stroke, and heart attack are the big three. There's other things like blindness, coma, organ transplant, loss of limbs, severe burns, all the cognitive impairment, all those types of things that where living benefits can inject a giant pile of money into your household and save you from what happened to me.
Right. Okay, wonderful. Leon, you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm
You're
here,
not.
Tony. I got a question. So Jason, can you sell and deliver your product nationwide?
Yep. The only place that I don't go is New York.
Okay.
New York kind of has some different standards, but um, yeah, all other 49 states I can work in.
Okay. Now I'm going to get in touch with you about those living benefits, but you don't have to give me your phone number.
You already got it.
Right? Yeah, no, but even if I didn't have it, watch this. Watch this. If I want to get in touch with you, what's the easiest way for me to find out everything about you? What's that info?
InPhone.co/JH1.
There it is. There it is
Boom.
right there. There it is.
Boom.
And I pulled it up on my phone while you and Tony were talking. Right? I pulled it
Yep.
up on my phone. Some people are going, "Yeah, Leon, you didn't pull it up on your phone." Yes, I did. Look. It's right. This is it right here.
Yep.
This is Jason's InPhone. It's right there on the screen. Now let's take a look at your info. Right.
Awesome.
So production team, can we go ahead and share Jason's InPhone? There it is right there. So Jason and Tony, as this video with your phone runs, you guys, let's go ahead and talk about some of what's there. There's
We
the opening part of it, and go ahead, tell us what all you have on your info, Jason.
Well, let's start at the very top with the ways that I can share my InPhone with other folks. There's the copy, paste, and share. I can text that to somebody. I can email it to somebody, and then I can bring up the QR code and have somebody scan it while they're standing right next to me. Let me tell you about my favorite part is when somebody scans that QR code, I can actually, when I'm standing there with them, I can actually show them how to save my InPhone to their home screen on their phone. They have access to me 24/7 right there. Then as we go down the buttons, we can see some of the services that I offer and some of the ways that I can help folks. And then obviously the ways that people can get in touch with Lori and I. That's 100 business cards right into one product.
Jason, they're about clicking on this one button here. What I liked about yours, I mean, InPhone is completely customizable. I say that on every meeting, but what I liked about yours is your website is geared towards video. I don't know if it's because I'm a visual person, but that's the way I learn. I don't want to read something, but you have all these buttons here that go to specific videos on these specific topics. They're not long videos, so I don't have to go in there and sit there for 15 minutes. They're 3 minutes. They're very understandable, and they just give you a good summary of what you're looking at, so you can decide, how to get more information. And that's what I love about the information that you have, and that we were able to put in a professional way on the InPhone.
Yeah, and like you said, Tony, they're just little snippets, but they're intriguing enough, and they give enough information for people to be able to see a little bit about what we can do for them, and it creates the intrigue that which is what we want.
And
Absolutely.
one of the things that I like about it, and Jason, I'd like to hear your comments on this. You already mentioned that, you don't have to carry business cards, but the information, anyone who has your InPhone, they have your information in essence forever. It's on their home screen. And so therefore, like I just did, I just added your InPhone to my home screen. I just added it as we were going through the video. So now I don't have to remember to write down your phone number or contact information, like maybe tomorrow afternoon when I'm ready to talk to you to talk about this living benefits. I can just go clicky, boom, call me right there. And I can get in
my
touch with
phone
you
rings.
right there. Tell me about some success stories. Have you had clients and folks that say, "Oh, I like it," and it's easier for them to get in touch with? Tell me about some of the successes that you've had with it.
So with people of my vintage and up,
So
sometimes
hold it. You used that term twice.
right.
My vintage. Now,
Well,
what do you mean by my vintage? What is that?
my age, Leon.
My age.
All right.
Now, so we might be in the same vintage.
We're pretty close.
We might be.
We're pretty close. There's some, yeah.
And if I didn't shave before the show, I would have had the same vintage as well.
Go ahead. You were saying.
Right. So for people to, I mean, it's simple. And again, maybe I have to help them, show them, how to save it on their home screen. But for the most part, InPhone's simple. And I don't know how many phone calls I've gotten from it because people were able to do what you were just talking about, Leon, where maybe they didn't write down my phone number, but they didn't have to because they had my info. It was right there in front of them.
Yeah.
Ease of use. People like doing business with people that are easy to do business with. Mm-hmm. And InPhone provides that ease of doing business for me.
Yeah.
As time goes on, too, that'll only get easier. This is why I love both of you have the same story. You jumped into the deep end of the pool when you got InPhone, and I know Leon had this story as well, from sharing it with others right off the bat, showing them how to share it to their phone. It just causes the ripple effects you're going to see from that over time, from doing those simple things, are going to be extraordinary. And that's the difference between having an InPhone and maybe sending it out 2 or 3 times just to give somebody your information, and actually physically using it and sending it to them and showing them how to save it on their phone, and taking that extra step and saying, hey, by the way, if you know anybody that can use my services, if you could hit copy, paste, and share and text it to them, I would really appreciate it. Because when you add those 3 things together, you're going to see the number of people that see your business on your InPhone explode.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony, I've shared with you the story at the college event that I was at a few weeks ago. But even yesterday, I was at my uncle's 99th birthday celebration.
Wow.
So when we start talking vintage, I got to be up there to have a 99-year-old uncle, right? I mean, you got to be a certain age just for that, right? Vintage. But then here's the other thing. Before we get into what happened yesterday regarding InPhone, just please know I have an aunt that's 102. This uncle's 99. I have another aunt who's 97. Look, I'll be around using InPhone forever. So you might as well go ahead and get my InPhone on your home screen, inphone.ca/LTG. Okay, so here's what happened. And so someone there asked me, they said, what do you do for work now? What are you doing? And I said, well, you're on Facebook and you follow me on YouTube. You see all the shows and everything that my company does and all of that. They're like, yeah, but I mean, what all do you do? I said, oh, you want to know all that we do? You sure? Yeah. I go, good. Here, scan this. And I take this out and they scan it, right? My InPhone. And they go, okay, well, wow. I said, yeah, put it on your home screen and tell others about it. And so one of them who said they're not tech savvy, one of my relatives said they weren't tech savvy. Someone else said, what does Leon do? And they go, I'll show him. Right? And I'm like, yes. Jason, this InPhone is hot stuff. And you're right. You don't have to be crazy tech to do it. It is awesome. Jason, this is awesome stuff.
You're just clicking buttons. You don't have to be techie at all. It's on your phone.
Yep.
And, you know, when people are scrolling through your phone, they see your face and they know how to get in touch with you and they know everything about you that you want them to know. Because the key thing, again, is you're putting this together for your customers. How do I want to be seen by the people that I want to do business with me? That's what you're deciding when you create your InPhone. So we put on there whatever you want.
Yep. Well, and here's the other thing. A couple weeks ago, we talked about, Tony, where I can put a button on there for my referral partners. That's the other thing. I work with a lot of different people that do just a little bit different than I do. Real estate professionals, mortgage folks, property and casualty insurance folks, those kind of people, where I can actually add a button for people to be able to get in touch with my referral partners as well.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? When you do that for them and you have their information on your InPhone, who do you think they're going to turn to when they need your services? Because they probably know 4, 5, 6 people that do what you do. But at the end of the day, it could come down to, well, Jason's the one that's out there promoting my business, so I want to help promote his business. Yeah. So it's all about we're helping each other and helping our businesses grow. And I think InPhone is going to be the tool to get us there.
Yeah, that's what happens. I love it. I'm Leon Thomas with Tony Mecadon. He's a business development director for InPhone. We're here with an InPhone subscriber, user, a guy that loves InPhone, whatever that term is, Jason Hansen. If you want to learn more about what Jason does in his business, you go to inphone.co/JH1. If you'd like to get an InPhone or to learn more about it, you can communicate with Tony. Tony's InPhone is inphone.co/TM2. And I am fortunate to have a great team that works with me at the Leon Thomas Group. To learn more about me and my company, go to inphone.co/LTG. So now you want to see InPhones, you can click on any of those, put them on your phone, but also contact Tony to tell him you want one. You want to learn more, contact Tony. Jason, say it with me. Contact Tony. Contact Tony. Contact Tony. I mean, you gotta get an InPhone. Now, Jason, let's get away from InPhone just for a second.
Time's up.
You live in Nebraska.
Yes, sir.
So that means you can tell me about where to get a good steak.
I can cook you a good steak on my back patio.
So everyone's going to get Jason's InPhone, and hopefully he has a link on there to driving directions to his back patio, and we'll all show up and eat a steak.
Special invite only, Leon.
Special invite only. Okay. All right. Now, how about
to answer your question? Yes, I have. We have a butcher right here in town that I go to for my ribeyes, and they are the best.
The best. All right. Now, Tony has this crazy allegiance to the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think there was even a comment where someone's, oh no, he's covering. You don't like the Eagles there, Jason?
I'll go ahead, Leon.
Oh, but this means something. We can't just let this slide by. What did that mean?
The haters.
Carry on.
Carry on. So who's your team? Do you have an allegiance anywhere, college or pro?
I have an allegiance to the Kansas State Wildcats. And you love them or you hate them, the Dallas Cowboys. So that's where Tony and I.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, I can see the clashing there. Cowboys and Eagles for sure. Yeah. Now, Kansas State, you haven't had a lot to cheer about.
Haven't?
They're good this year.
Are they good this year?
Yeah.
So this is like the first year out of 90 that they're having a winning season, or what?
Remember with Bill Snyder, they were awesome.
You know what? You're correct. Yes, you are right. When Coach Snyder was there. Yeah. Right on. You are correct. So, Jason, now let's talk about your business. We have like 4 minutes to go. What's the biggest mistake that folks are making when they're looking at protecting themselves financially? What's the biggest mistake folks are making?
Believing in the flaw of averages. Um, so many people hear, well, this account has averaged this or averaged this. Um, there's a big difference between the actual return on your money and the average return on your money. The thing we need to pay attention to is the actual return on our money. That is a gigantic myth.
Okay. All right. Right on.
If you don't mind me stepping in to mention, Jason and his wife Lori, they're consistently doing trainings called Money 101 that they do in person, and they invite. It's a free class, right, Jason? And you invite people.
Yep.
I mean, it's in Nebraska. He doesn't. I don't think he travels with the show, but he invites people. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We do it on Zoom at least once a week,
and it's a free show, and it just gives people a crash course in, how to look at these important subjects and how to get a start in them.
Yeah.
We actually have one tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time.
And if folks want to attend that, how do they do that? They can contact you through your InPhone. Is there anything else they should do?
They can text me or call me through my InPhone, and I can get them the link for the class.
All right. And again, to do that, you go to inphone.co/JH1. You can call or text Jason with information. What's the name of the class again?
Money 101.
Money 101. And today is Tuesday, November 8th. And what time is that?
7 p.m. Central.
At 7 p.m. Central. So you want to do that. And then since you do them weekly, right?
Right.
And so if you miss this one, you can do it. Join in next week. But to find out about them and learn how to sign up, you got to inphone.co/JH1. See, that's all you got to do.
They put on a great presentation. It's information everybody needs to know. Your savvier financial person might sit there and say, I know this subject, but when you sit through it, you don't know everything that they're talking about. And for that person that maybe doesn't know, a lot of this subject, it's a great class where they can at least get a foundation and can go from there.
Oh, that's great to hear. I'm glad you're doing that.
It's presented at about a 5th grade level.
All right. Right on. Good. Thank you. Thanks for doing that. And I'll make sure that I check it out. I won't be able to make it tonight because Tuesday night is date night.
No, all right.
It's date night. Along with Saturday night too. Date night.
Wow.
And Sunday morning too. We go to church together and then hang out a little bit. Yeah. So if you're doing it on Saturday, I can't attend. Tuesday night ain't even an option because that's date night.
Next week is Wednesday, Leon.
Next week is Wednesday. Okay.
It'll be Wednesday next week.
We could make next week's. We could make next week. So, Jason, thank you for being a guest on the InPhone A-Team show with me and Tony. Thanks for being here, Jason.
I'm blessed to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, if you want to get in touch with Jason Hansen, you go to his InPhone. That's inphone.co/JH1. And look, I didn't even have to look at the screen that time. I've already remembered it. And I don't have to remember it because it's on my phone. So it's really that simple. Tony, thanks for bringing Jason to us. Great show. Thanks for inviting Jason on, Tony.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. I really appreciate it. And we're going to be back. It looks like next week on the 17th. We have a fantastic realtor from New Jersey, Maya Felsenstein. So she's going to be with us. And, I look forward to another successful show.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Again, I'm Leon Thomas. That's Tony Mecadon. You're here watching the InPhone A-Team show. To get in touch with Tony, to learn more about InPhone and how it can help your business. And I'm telling you, you want to get an InPhone. I have one. I use it. That's the biggest testimony I can give you. To get in touch with Tony, you go to inphone.co/TM2. And to learn more about our company, the Leon Thomas Group, go to inphone.co/LTG. I want to thank our producers, Kelly Johnson and Oren Stewart for doing a great job making sure everything runs. Thank you very much for what you do. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Oren, and everyone at the Leon Thomas Group. Tony, we're back on the 17th for another groovy show. I'm looking forward to it.
Can't wait.
Thanks for watching the InPhone A-Team show.
Bye,
Take
everyone.
care.